Hello, I'm Catherine. I'm the CEO of BrainBuzz, and I'm recording this video because I want to write an article about how I have found a way to be like happy day to day and how that works for me. This is something I'm really passionate writing about. I'll include a link, but I wrote this article for Greatest on like the 7 things that you can control and how to kind of shift your perspective to not take things as personally, to feel better. And it really changed my life. So it's something that like I'm all about hacking life, which just means coming up with a strategy that gets the most value with the least amount of effort, because we kind of want to spend our times doing like other things. So these are the 5 things that I've come up with that have like totally changed my life. And I'm recording them in this video because my writer and I are putting together like a research science backed article, and she's going to look up the science and I'm just going to say how like it's helped me. So there's a right way to eat and there's a wrong way to eat. And this is coming from someone who really likes Taco Bell. My friend created this diet and I wasn't on it to lose weight. She needed someone to test it out. And I ended up, first of all, I lost like 3 or 4% body fat, but my weight almost stayed the same. I only lost 1 or 2 pounds. But just like the clarity of mind and how fabulous I felt, and like people could be obnoxious all around me, but I was like in a happy little bubble. So basically it's no dairy. Avoid things that come in a package. You don't need wheat. You don't need rice. Oatmeal's cool. No alcohol, which is something I'm really passionate about, which is why like I work in the cannabis industry, because I think people should be able to go out and not feel obligated to drink if they're at a social situation, because that's like lame and makes you feel gross. Just looking at my notes. Water. You're supposed to have 8 glasses of water a day. You should have 16 glasses a day. I got bored with my water, so I got this on Amazon. It's like a really cool water bottle. It was like $12.95, and you can put like fruits and mint. I have mint and ginger in here now, and it's 25 ounces. So if you drink, 3 of these, then you're over your 8 thing limit, 8 to start with, and it makes it a lot more exciting. Like the only reason I'm like advocating to eat this way is because of the clarity of mind. I don't give a shit about losing weight. I don't care about that other stuff. I'm not like a hippie. I don't really care. I used to eat a ton of processed foods, and I used to be really anxious and not feel great. And like my stomach would hurt after I ate. And I never felt like energized after I had a meal. Now I feel energized like on a very regular basis. Okay. So there's a right way to eat and there's a wrong way to eat. Now I use this app called Habitable to keep track of like if I meditate, if I journal, if I go to the gym. So now I have something that I check off if I eat clean. And I said no soy, right? Yeah. So like yesterday I wanted some granola, but it was prepackaged and it had like soy in it, or it had like wheat in it. So I was like, okay, I don't need that. So instead what I did was I cut open 4 dates. Yeah, dates. And I put cashew butter on the inside, and then I put flakes of like coconut on top, and it was freaking delicious. So like I have the biggest sweet tooth ever. So also not eating like processed foods makes you be like really creative, because then you want to put like bowls together with like black beans and sweet potatoes and avocado and like things that you normally wouldn't even bother trying, but they tend to be really good. That's kind of like exciting. So that's number 1, is about eating clean. Number 2 is do one thing at a time. Your brain can't multitask. We think we can. I can't stand it when I'm out with people and trying to like hang out and they're on their phone. It drives me fucking crazy. I don't take it personally because that's one of those 4 agreement things, but it bothers me a little bit, So you can only do one thing at a time. Give something your undivided attention. If you can't give it your undivided attention, then don't do it right now. It's okay. Like, you can do it whenever you want. So yeah, we're going to look up the science behind that. then stand and move way more than you sit. So I got a Fitbit, and the reason it's so cool is because it'll vibrate and be like, it's step o'clock. Are you up for 36 steps? I'll be like, I guess so. So I'll walk around and then it'll vibrate again and light up and stuff. And it's like easy peasy. So, like, and I'm all into like neuromarketing, like utilizing how the brain works to make technology more like useful to us. So like this makes me feel good. It's like really funny. And the Fitbit says to you should take 250 steps an hour each hour, and to get 10,000 steps a day, which seems like a lot, but it's not. And it's fun because you can compete against people you know, and like making something into a game just is like the biggest hack in general. Like it makes everything fun. So like it's cool. Like I was competing against these girls I went to high school with, and I haven't talked to them in 10 years, but like they're really sweet. And I was like, oh, I'm totally going to beat them. So I like walked around my house like a lot, and I did. So that's why like so for $120, it's not like the technology is really that cool. It's kind of like the neuro part that's cool, how it kind of gets into your head and utilizes competition to make you more active and healthy and productive. I think sitting is like the new smoking. Like the reason I can't get an office job is because you're supposed to sit for 8 hours a day and you're supposed to eat lunch at your desk. That's killing people. That like totally serious. Someone's going to have to look up the science behind that, but that is totally decreasing quality of life and like longevity. Like the new smoking, but like worse. Okay, every day, journal, set a timer for 10 minutes, write about what you're thankful for. Really easy. Like if you brush your teeth, you know, you can be thankful for the running water. You can be thankful for your toothpaste that's for sensitive teeth, if you're me. You can be grateful that you have Listerine Zero, which kills all the germs but doesn't burn your mouth. Because not everyone, not a lot of people, to be honest, can afford like those things that we really kind of like take for granted. You know, even like having an electric toothbrush, like that's like keeping your mouth clean keeps your brain clean. And like just recognizing that you're in a situation like where you have all those things, to use it to your advantage. I also like journal about, or even like I just got out of the shower, right? I'm like really thankful I had like unlimited hot water. Like that's not something that everyone has. And like I feel really good. And so like I'm now like ready to start my day and like do some good in the world. I also journal like when things are like happen that are somewhat emotional or make me feel a certain way. I write those out because it takes some of like the like heaviness out of it. I call it like uploading my consciousness. Came up with it a couple of years ago. And I just like write about whatever's on my mind. I don't have to judge anything. It doesn't have to be right or wrong. I don't show it to anyone. But I do that. And like, so if I'm having like a difficult conversation with a friend or if something, or if like I have a client and I feel like they're going to fire me and I'm anxious about it, I'll like write out how I'm feeling. And then by the end of it, I'm like, oh, like that's silly. I was totally overreacting. And then I always get an email that says like, you're cool. So it really takes a lot of the weight off of your, like in a figurative way and a very literal way. It takes the weight off of like your heart and your brain, because your brain is like supposed to be creative and used for coming up with ideas. It's not supposed to be like being burdened down by like other things, especially unpleasant things, because that's silly. And then the last thing with journaling is like, if you're like, I have a dream where I'm going to be like a really cool motivational speaker where I'm going to be able to help a lot of people live more authentic, productive, happier lives. And that's like way, way, way in the future, but I can see myself doing it. So like sometimes I write about that because there's nothing wrong. You know, like I'm just writing about like where I want to be. And I can use my imagination as much as I want to imagine like the venue where I'm talking or the Skype session I'm having. Or like the feeling that my client will get once they realize how much control they have over their lives and how much clarity can come when you follow a system. Like, that's going to be awesome. So sometimes I write about that, just like to get one step closer to making it real. I think that's like from The Secret. I don't know. Last thing, you got to train the mind. That's called meditation. It's really easy. It's not about not thinking. It's not about sitting in silence. It's really just about noticing what it feels like to be here. Like, I'm feeling my butt on my chair. This feels a certain way. I'm feeling my feet on this like laundry thing that I'm resting it on. I feel the back of, so like you're noticing the physical sensations, and then you're coming to your breath and you're saying, oh, I'm breathing. This is where in my chest I feel the breath the most, or maybe it's in my nostrils and maybe it's like tickling me. I don't know. But like you just learn to observe things like that. And then as thoughts come into your brain, because obviously that's going to happen, you just recognize them as thoughts or feelings and you say, oh, silly brain, you're thinking. And then you come back to the breath. And you also breathe somewhat loud enough that you can it helps to keep your attention on it. Meditation has like changed my life beyond belief. I do 10 minutes a day. I check it off in Habit Bowl. And I think that's like, it's meditation, journaling, and eating clean that's allowing me to like be successful in life and I'm moving to LA to go kill it in the cannabis industry. So like, I think it's because of those three things, I was like emotionally able to handle that transition that I'm currently going through. Then the bonus thing, right, is get a dog, get a pet. Being a dog mom has made the quality of my life like unbelievable. It changed. My brain changed. I have a mom brain now. I'm always looking out for Bear, but like we stare into each other's eyes all the time and we just play all day, and about being mindful and doing one thing at a time. Like when I'm playing soccer with Bear, we're playing soccer. I'm not looking at my phone. I'm not trying to do anything else. And I'm like 100% in the moment, and it makes me really happy. So I'm all about like two birds, one stone, like bundling this shit up. So like if you're thinking about how do I be happier, right? And if it's like feasible, like you get a dog and you play with it. Like you go on walks, you get fresh air, you don't use your phone. Doing little changes like that, and especially like walking, being like, oh, this is what the sunlight feels like on my shoulders. Oh, this is what the cement feels like. Oh, this is what the grass feels like. It's different than the cement. Like, that's what meditation teaches you how to do. And when you like start to do that on a regular basis, and that becomes the narrative, life becomes a lot more pleasant, like, and very enjoyable. And you can like be more creative. So that's all I have to say about this. I hope it's going to help my writer. If you have any questions about like something you're going through, or if you want to come up, as my grandmother would say, with like a plan of action for how to hack the shit out of something to make it more pleasant, then leave me a comment and I will make a video and get back to you. Okay, have a fabulous day. Drink water.